Hello, welcome to RT Today, where we bring you Middletown High School's announcements for the week ahead, a wrap-up of what happened in the news last week, and more. This week's show is brought to you by
The Main Cup, local flavor that perks.
Let's go to David Turner with a look back at this week in history.
In this week in history, on May 20th, 1999, the Hubble telescope sent its first photograph from space. The Hubble telescope was constructed in the 1940s and was first launched into space on April 24th, 1990. Hubble images discovered that there were distant galaxies that showed the universe when it was less than a tenth of its current age. It also photographed new evidence of two asteroids colliding. Back to you, Emma.
Thanks, David. Now let's hear about this week's birthdays for Mallory Beck.
A happy birthday this week to Emily Bush, Tyler Hopt, Sydney Aller, Kylie Foley, Preston Gimmernicki, Jason Lynch, Zachary Working, Catherine Cross, Catherine Stevenson, Jackson Wood, Grant Baker, Elizabeth Lashley, Desiree Rose, and Alexander Whitehead.
Let's go to Calvin Salser with this week's announcements.
Frederick County Public Schools and Middletown High School are excited to celebrate the class of 2021. We recognize the seniors have not had an opportunity to come together since March 13th, 2020, so MHS is thrilled to have one special day to bring all of its seniors back together. On Tuesday, June 1st, all MHS seniors are welcome back to the campus to spend time with their fellow seniors, say goodbye to their teachers, and take part in some special socially distanced activities after the scheduled graduation practice. All seniors are invited to stay for lunch provided by the school. Yearbooks are still currently being sold, but sales will end soon. The absolute deadline to purchase a book will be May 21st. No extra books will be printed this year, so if you do not order a yearbook in advance, you will not be able to purchase one. You may purchase a book in advance by going to jostens.com. Yearbook distribution this year will be held in July. If you have any questions, contact Mr. Katie at noah.katie@fcps.org. The registration deadline for the MHS Marching Knights is Friday, July 2nd. Please contact the Marching Band Director, Matthew Shearer, at matthew.shearer@fcps.org if you have any questions.
Thanks, Calvin. Now let's find out what's been going on in the rest of the world. Here's Gabby Pieklo.
Fuel shortages along the East Coast began after a cyber attack on the Colonial Pipeline by a Russian ransomware group called DarkSide. The pipeline is responsible for transporting 100 million gallons of gasoline, diesel fuel, jet fuel, and other heating oil per day. The fuel shortage is devastating southern states such as North Carolina, where 68% of gas stations are out of fuel. The national average for gas prices has now risen to $3 per gallon, which is the highest it has been since October of 2014. Violence between Israel and Palestine has increased as Hamas, a Palestinian terrorist organization, sent 130 rockets into Tel Aviv, one of Israel's most vibrant cities, on Tuesday, May 11th. Hamas declared the attack was due in part to Israel leveling a tower in Gaza, which had been used to house office space for leadership of Hamas. Israel had begun those attacks after fighting between both sides had broken out in Jerusalem. The CDC ratifies Pfizer coronavirus vaccine for 12 to 15-year-olds. This vaccine was made available during Thursday, May 13th. In other news, a Biden health official said the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine booster shots will be free and available to the public once they are fully developed. Up next, Sophie Weinstein tells us what's been happening in the world of arts, entertainment, and celebrity.
Ellen DeGeneres recently announced that The Ellen Show will be coming to an end in 2022 after its 19th season. She explained, quote, "When you're a creative person, you constantly need to be challenged, and as great as the show is and as fun as it is, it's just not as challenging anymore," unquote. Speculators highlight that the end of the show has come forward after a drop of ratings due to allegations of sexual misconduct in a toxic workplace. In response to the criticism over the lack of diversity in the Hollywood Fortune Press Association's voting body, NBC will not be airing the Golden Globes in 2022. In a statement, NBC representatives said, quote, "We continue to believe that the HFPA is committed to a meaningful reform," unquote. As COVID restrictions are relieved, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo announced that Broadway will be able to open at full capacity by September 14th, after putting to a halt to 31 musicals and plays at the start of quarantine and a year and a half of closure. The reopening will perform various shows. These include, but are not limited to, Lion King, Hamilton, and Wicked. It's understood that there will be a variety of safety measures taken to keep everyone on and off the stage safe. Now let's go to sports, where Haley Otto catches up on what's happening on and off the field.
Former quarterback Tim Tebow will sign with the Jacksonville Jaguars as a tight end. Tebow will reunite with his former college coach from the University of Florida in Urban Meyer, who is now the Jaguars head coach. Tebow was drafted 25th overall by the Denver Broncos as quarterback and was traded to the New York Jets. He last played in the NFL in 2015. Tebow has never played as a tight end before. This is his first year in the position. The signing has seen backlash from current and former players as they question why Tebow was signed before Colin Kaepernick. NHL team Tampa Bay Lightning made week history on Monday, May 10th, when they started an all-black forward line in a game against the Florida Panthers. Daniel Walcott, Matthew Joseph, and Jamal Smith all started off the game together at the center and wing spots, making history. Washington Wizards guard Russell Westbrook broke the NBA triple-double record after a loss to the Atlanta Hawks on Monday night. Westbrook dropped 28 points, 21 assists, and 13 rebounds to achieve his 182nd triple-double. He achieved what many thought was impossible by beating NBA legend Oscar Robertson, record of 181.
Now for our words of wisdom. Some of us have this strange idea that if we look down at other people, it will make us seem more important. We put others down in a misguided attempt to elevate ourselves. But here's a bulletin. That doesn't work. When we put others down, we simply make ourselves look untrustworthy and disrespectful. Civil rights leader Whitney Young once said, "There is nothing noble in being superior to someone else. The only real nobility is being superior to your former self. Nothing good ever comes from acting as if you are better than others. Real goodness, true nobility, comes from trying to be a better person today than you were yesterday." That's what Mr. Young means by being superior to your former self. And that's a truly noble goal to set, because each day is an opportunity to be a better you. That's it for RT today. Make it a great day or not. The choice is yours.